Welcome to 108 Gates, where we're looking at the current energies of when you're coming to this video. Hope you are well. There is I want to say standoff, but it's not so much of a standoff when one of the parties doesn't really know that there's a standoff happening. It's that thing that was mentioned in yesterday's feminine masculine readings again. Or was it the one before that? I don't know. There was a reading in the last few days, basically, that talking about how the certain thing is the certain feeling of standing up for yourself is going to be silent. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be internal, and it's that I think it was yesterday. So if you want to check out yesterday's masculine and feminine reading, they're in the daily playlists and in the masculine feminine individual playlists. So the silence is going to become stronger and louder, because the silence initially was as if like self is protecting self is making sure that preserving self, protecting self, staying quiet. But then there's sort of an energy on the other side of who you're being quiet in relation to, is feeling the silence, the feeling the retreat, the feeling the pulling back of energies. So they might start coming forward and start initiating contact, initiating conversations, initiating conflict, essentially, on some level for some of them. So it's about you now mastering this feminine stillness with this practical masculine and bringing it together so that you can protect yourself in a very productive and harmonious way. So this, for many people, may be certain conflicts that came about in the past. So if they are still lingering, if it's still something that sinks heavy in your heart, you still feel it heavy in your heart, you feel it in your emotions, you make decisions based on it, it influences your choices or decisions, it influences what you do, what you don't do, then it's going to be done with, hopefully, this is a chance to be just done with it. If, for example, you're conditioned to think or do something in a particular way, and now as a result you won't take certain opportunities, you won't see yourself in a higher regard, you won't respect yourself in a certain way because the other people's influences, words are lingering. There's going to be this chance with them, especially with this new moon in Scorpio, to really sever those things and be free of them even more so. Ooh. Definite sacral and solar plexus energy moving there. So courage, be brave, be strong and believe. Bringing in all of your strength now to be courageous, to be brave, as it says here, be strong and believe. So being brave is addition to being strong, in addition to believing in yourself. What do you feel about all those three aspects of courage, of being courageous? How do you believe in yourself, but yet your subconsciousness or your behaviours don't align with you believing in yourself? Are you strong, but yet you're strong at defending, not at actually just doing and like having moved on from having to defend yourself? What I mean by that is, are you still in, I've got to defend myself, or are you actually now in the point of, I've got nothing to defend, I did what I did, I am who I am. If they can't accept it, they can't accept it. That's not my issue. And then the being brave is actually saying certain things that need to be said, doing certain things that need to be done. It may be that you don't do certain things because it's been drummed into you that it's the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't do that. Only certain kind of people do that. So you don't do the very things you need to do for yourself. So being brave to step over that mark and actually do those things that feel correct for you, that you know are correct for you. Protection, conserve what you have, save a little. Again, that coming back, pulling back and protecting yourself in the sense of making sure your silence is honoured, that you're quiet for a reason. You know you're quiet for a reason, even if someone else is going to come and provoke you, and then it doesn't feel like it's a considered and empathetic kind of provoking and poking coming in. So you're doing what you've got to do to protect yourself, and remember that. And it's going to be easier for some than others. Let's put it that way. Communication, and then that came into, oh wow, let's do it that way. No, let's do it that way. What's coming that way? Communication, silence. There's lots of cards here. Any of them could have come out. Communication, silence, this balance of so seeing the scenario. Let's get the masculine card. Seeing the scenario of you don't want to particularly talk, or you do want to talk, and then the other side doesn't want to talk. But then when the other side wants to talk, you don't want to talk. So it's that kind of hit and miss. But you know that there's particular people you can talk to, you can talk with, and they'll listen and they'll be present. There's certain people you'll talk with and communicate with, and they'll make up their own stories in their head. They always end up provoking a fight or an argument. So you just want to stay away. It's fair to say that. It's fair to do that. And it may be necessary just to preserve your own... to protect yourself, conserve what you have, save a little. And then I just sort of say a little. I need space, I need time. Do you not respect that? Then how am I supposed to have a decent conversation with you? There you go, 10 of coins. Know your value, know your worth. Be aware of your value and worth. Therefore, if I need silence, I need this isolation, whatever, I need this this time by myself to process things, to be just still, then just let me do that, let me be that, let me feel that, let me enjoy that, let me rest in that, let me heal in that, let me rejuvenate in that, let me recalibrate in that. And then the 6 of coins. Six of coins feel like they're floating. Certain things have to be brought down and actually solidified. They have to be honoured. They have to be brought into fruition. The 6 of coins feel like they're hidden. Really weird vibe. Because you've got the 10 over here, but you've got the 6 over here. So the 6 of coins is not seeing... okay, 6 of coins over here. That wants to stay there. Let's get one from over here. It seems like it's going into a masculine reading again. Alright, I said it was hidden. The moon... the moon coming in, so the usual communication about the moon is hidden emotions, hidden things. It's not that it's necessarily hidden from us, it's concealed because of the nature of the night. It's concealed in the night, it's concealed in the darkness of the night, although you can sense it. So you're sensing certain things, you're feeling certain things, you're aware of certain things, yet those things that you need to hear, those admittances, somebody admitting that they did something, somebody acknowledging that they've done something, somebody apologising. It doesn't feel so much that you're waiting for an apology. You might be. You're waiting for an explanation. You're waiting for the truth to come out. Because no matter how much you question certain things or you go around in circles and circles, some others may be in denial of certain things that have happened, certain things that have been said. This is fantastic. So you have the power now to stay silent, and in your silence, you're communicating volumes. If you want to communicate, make sure you're communicating and honouring someone else wants to be silent. If they don't want to be speaking, they don't feel the need to speak, then let them be quiet. Either or, whichever side you're on here, let the other person do what they've got to do. If you're not ready to communicate, then don't communicate. If you someone else is not ready to communicate, then don't force them to communicate. Get the balance, protection and courage. So in time they will be ready to communicate. If they're not communicating in time, you will be ready to communicate if you want to, and if it's ready to be communicated about. So not to push this, really honor this, because this is showing a power struggle. This is showing where some of the conflict has been in you need to tell me this, you need to tell me that, you need to do this, you need to that, whatever it is. This is where you can let go of someone having control over you, and where you may have controlled others. So let go of that. So this is why I felt like these 6 of coins were hidden, because they're concealed in the light of the moon. They're there, but you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't see the actual value of honouring this part here. So I'm going to say it again because it's powerful and it's really important. If somebody is ready to communicate but you're not, honour that. If you're ready to communicate but someone else isn't, honour that. Allow the process to occur naturally. There's something that needs to be admitted. It could be by yourself or someone else. Like I said, apologies coming up or not coming up, and that's creating a conflict. Because if the other issue is if they don't admit something, how can they apologise for it? If they're in denial about something, they're nowhere near apologising for it. So your power now is, don't wait for an apology, don't wait for an explanation. If someone chooses to conceal that and hide it from you and be in denial, you take your power back and let them be in denial. You know what happened, you know what it was from your perspective, not from their perspective. Your perspective. You act accordingly, behave accordingly, with dignity, with honour, with grace, with humility, with empowerment, with courage, with strength, from your perspective. If they choose to be in denial, they choose to ignore this, they choose to not talk or to talk, and you're not ready for either or, you follow your path, you do what's correct for you. Don't be cajoled or pushed into doing something that's not comfortable for you. Really stand your ground. Really stand your ground. You have to master this, how to do it, because some are not willing to take no for an answer, and they're just going to keep pushing. You do not want to get into conflict. You do not want to get into an argument. You do not want to go into that same cycle of where you usually go with these things. This is a chance to break this cycle. This is a chance to have a refresh of how you tend to certain people, how you tend to certain conversations, how you work with certain things. If in the past you have gone in and you've tried to explain things and you're trying to forgive them, or they're trying to forgive you, and blah blah blah, and it always ends up in the same outcome, basically. Whatever that same outcome is it beneficial? If it is, it would have moved on by now. If it's not, you're stuck in that cycle. You need to break that cycle now. Death, bringing in the death of something to be able to access your 10 of coins. Bringing in the end to those cycles, bringing in, allowing that cycle to end, to conclude in a way that's actually beneficial for you. It's a powerful energy. Very masculine energy. Right, we're going to put that up there. Knight of Swords. Being careful with your sword. You're in the night time. You're going to be moving stealthily. You'll be moving with precision of sound, precision of listening carefully, watching carefully, using your instincts, using your intuition, making sure you're aware of how things are manoeuvring, not reacting. Like if it was to be hiding in the dark, and you can hear someone approaching you in the dark, you wouldn't run. The usual thing is staying in the frozen mode. Okay, so now, if you are stuck in frozen fight, fright, flight kind of stuff, This is your opportunity to break this. So if communication puts you in a fight, fright, flight, frozen, fight, fright, flight, frozen. I always say there's four. I don't know if they're the same. It doesn't feel like they're the same. I don't think there's, like they say, fight or fright, fight or flight. It's like, well, not always. Sometimes you're just frozen. Sometimes you're frozen. Fight, flight, fright, frozen in fright. Don't know. There's lots of it around. This feels like the masculine energy of where you're heading towards, where it's possible to protect yourself. Let's see what this is. Don't you want to come out? Okay, hold on a sec. Queen of Serpents, there you go. Queen of Swords, you've got the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords there. Clarity coming in with the feminine energies of the emotional well-being, emotional maturity coming in, informing masculine of how to do this. This is literally like, if you go this way, you're going to get the Ten of Coins, you'll get the end of cycles, and you're going to do it with clarity from the wisdom, the wiseness, the wiseness, is that even a word? The wisdom, the intuition, the instincts of the Queen of Coins. Seeing the value of just staying quiet at the correct time, seeing the value of talking when you need to talk in the way that you need to talk, seeing the value of being courageous, seeing the value of being strong, seeing the value of standing up for yourself and doing what you need to do. Knight of Swords, walk around stealthy, walk around with awareness that not everything is what it seems. You're going to have shadows, you're going to have certain things, like it might sound, because you're in a hyper vigilant, hyper sensitive state for some time of this, excuse me, so an animal creeping around, but because you're scared or you're worried about something, it may sound like it's an enemy or a traitor or something like that. Traitor has been coming around a lot after yesterday's reading and this morning, when I was focusing on what we're going to do for the reading and focusing on being here. Traitor, the word traitor was coming up, and it felt quite past life, and it's showing up in this current life again. If there's a traitor and you don't know who that traitor is, you don't know what they've been up to, what they've been doing, you trusted them with certain things, you're going to need to protect yourself. I'm not saying that there is a traitor. I'm saying there's you could be traitor to yourself. You may be not honouring your own things. So I'm trying to say it's a heavy reading, but trying to bring it to the lightest possible space so that you don't get lost or stuck. If it's not resonating, just completely let go of it. If it is resonating, maybe listen to the feminine reading too, and just take it with a pinch of salt. There's a lot here. It's a tarot reading. It's a general tarot reading. I'm really, really feeling drawn to really, really state that strong right now. There we go. Communication with communication. Some of you are not wanting this communication. Some of you are feeling suffocated by it. Don't let yourselves be suffocated by it. Feel into your power. Feel into your right to choose. There you go. King and Queen. Just keep going that way. Keep going that way. This is what's needing to be managed. Once it's managed, you're going to have 10 of coins. You're going to understand the higher value of sticking to your truth, sticking to your you protecting yourself, and not expecting someone else to do that, not wanting someone else to do that, not even expecting an apology. If you're waiting for that, just let go of it. If you're waiting for an explanation, let go of it. You ain't going to get them, and if you do get them, you don't even know if it's the truth anyway. So all of that cycle of waiting for something, they're holding you back by not telling you. If you think about, I just need to know, and you're putting all that energy I need to know, I need this, I need that. That is an indirect way of them holding you stuck. Even more reason for them to not communicate in the way that you need or want them to. Feeding their reason to communicate in a negative way if they're communicating in a negative way. Pushing, cajoling, provoking. Protect yourself. Communicate in a very, very particular Knight of Swords way. Unnecessary communication could trip you up. Be very calm and collected before you even go into the conversation, or not. If you're staying in your silence, then be in your silence and mark the territory of your silence. Allow them to know, I'm being quiet right now. You don't need to know why, they don't need to know how, you don't need to, when I'm ready, I will communicate. Right now, it's not there. Right now, I'm not. From that, you'll get the value of knowing how to close these cycles. This action will close the cycles because they'll know they can't keep provoking, they can't keep pushing, they will keep trying. That's where you've got to get your strength. They will keep provoking, keep trying, keep whatever, until they either get the message, see that you're too valuable to them to lose, and therefore shift and change, or they'll just have to do it to someone else. That's a heavy reading. I did say we there's a reading in the playlist called New Moon in Scorpio. I didn't quite know why I'd put that reading up so far before the New Moon in Scorpio, but now I feel like, and I said then, I felt like the readings to prep for something. This feels like it's the prep for something. It's the prep for you to make those bigger shifts and changes if you want to, if you need to, if you can, if you're willing. Not going to be easy. So for now, the masculine reading, and I will now do the feminine reading and upload that also today. Take your time, be calm, be aware of what you're doing, why you're doing. Remember that when you're going into situations, what the normal outcome is, shift and change in your head. Shift and change your normal reaction to something that's more beneficial for you. For now, peace and love.